You know, moving forward, we're going to continue to get better as a team. There are some things that we have to continue to improve on. We face a Mississippi Valley State University team that's coached by Coach Ivory, and they're going to come in with some tenacity. They're going to come in fighting. They're going to come in with their speed, their toughness. They'll probably change a lot of defensive schemes, meaning try to get us off balance from man-to-man to zone. We have to do our part in making sure we are communicating, making sure we're making the right play. And sometimes the right play is just a simple play. We got to come away with a positive assist to turnover ratio, but we've seen improvement in certain guys, certain players, and I'm looking forward to seeing our continued growth this season.
All right, questions for Coach Gates?
Coach, when you talk about just some of the areas of improvement that you want to attack, especially on the other side of this game and that week break you have, just what are a couple of the keys that you've identified so far?
Well, I'm not thinking about a week break. We got a game tomorrow, so one day at a time. The things we have to improve on when you look at our stat sheet is a more positive assist to turnover ratio, more positive rebounding margin, continue to execute on the free throw line, but also when it comes down to second half, I think we got to continue to do a better job of putting two halves together. Those are the areas that I think we can learn from and continue to grow.
Coach, kind of say about the second half. You guys have finished games well, especially the last two. How do you start maybe the first 10 minutes of that second half on a high note?
Well, we've worked on some things, and I think from a mental standpoint, an organizational standpoint, I have to continue to prepare our team the best way I can. It starts with me, and doing that, giving them better organization, giving them better assignments, I think can help. And it can help settle whatever's going on internally. I would love to script it how I want to script it, but we know good and well I can't control certain things, but I want to make sure our players are in preparation, doing better coming out of half.
Coach, it might be an unrealistic expectation for Caleb Grill to shoot 10 from 3 every night, but what do you think he has to do on a night-to-night basis in order to establish himself as a consistent option?
Yeah, I think being in the right place, not putting pressure on himself to make home runs, not getting down or distracted because of hiccups or blown coverages. I think Caleb wants to make and become a big hero, but it doesn't happen in every single possession. It's a length of a game. Defensively, he concentrated on that, and I think that allowed the rim, the basket, to be in his favor. And that's what we saw, a young man concentrate on another side of the basketball other than his offense, and the byproduct of it was him succeeding.
Coach, through the first 3 games, what are some of the things that you found encouraging about the team so far?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm encouraged of our style of play. We can play in different styles of play, and I say that in a half-court setting because we have the strength, athleticism, and ability to get to the free throw line. And also we have the shooting ability where you guys saw throughout these guys' careers, you can have any guy get hot, from Marquez Ward to Caleb Grill to Jacob Cruz to Trent Pierce and even Tamar Bates. I think those are the 5 guys that can really get stuff done. We have cerebral point guards who play that position. They've done a tremendous job. Ant Robinson's growth is great. Tony Perkins is steadily getting back into form. And we got size when you look at Peyton Marshall, Josh Gray, Trent Burns. Those guys give us different vertical size and some width. When you have that, you have an ability to play in certain styles, so I'm encouraged. The other thing is our ability to withstand runs late in the game and not sort of break. Eastern Washington's a great team. Howard University, great team. Those are NCAA tournament teams. And we were able to not break while they had their late game runs, and we were able to win off our defense. Those things matter. Getting to the free throw line is encouraging. I think when you look at the season stat sheet in SEC over the last 2 years, we've been in the bottom third of that. And with our attempts, I'm encouraged with it. I want our percentage to go up.
Coach, it seemed like on the match against Eastern Washington, the turnovers were pretty directly translating into focus for them. What have you noticed is maybe going wrong in there, giving them a little bit easier access? I
don't think anything went wrong. I think they did a great job of doing certain things. 75% of their baskets, they only missed 10 shots in the second half, and their defense was set up, that amount of time. So live ball, they executed and got a lot of baskets on the other end, whether it was our fouls or our missed rotations. But when you have veterans playing in the style that they played, you saw they're one of the nation's best cutting teams. That put pressure on us, and ultimately we got to continue to do a great job of being in the right spots defensively. And I thought our guys did that to be able to stretch the lead how we were able to do it. And it can come by way of any kid. It can come from a freshman to a senior, and our guys have the versatility to defend, and I'm impressed with that ability to play in that style, but also the rotations that we were able to put together.
Dennis,
Coach, it was announced today that Nicholas Randall and Aaron Rowe signed with Missouri for next year. Can you talk a little bit about what each of them can bring to the team?
Well, Aaron Rowe is a young man I truly believe is electric between the lines. He does a tremendous job pushing the pace, quick, athletic, has skills and versatility. The thing is, he's a local kid, and when you have a local kid coming from the city of Como, the support is there. His future is very bright, and I'm excited because he was one of the first high school kids that I walked in the gym to see upon being named the Whitten Family Head Men's Basketball Coach. His dreams and aspirations, and what's funny is I saw old pictures of him just, with Phil Pressey at camp when Phil was a player here. And you know where his heart's at, you know where his dreams and aspirations are, and he wants to get to the next level, but he wants to use the University of Missouri to get there. And I'm thankful for his family for believing in us, and obviously the city of Como keeping their arms around someone that's from our city. Nicholas Randall, a kid from St. Louis. St. Louis was Sean high school, multiple state championships, player of the year. That kid to go to AZ Compass, his team would have been another state championship team. He would have been Missouri player of the year. And I think when you look at what he brings to the table, he brings versatility, he brings size, he brings a championship pedigree, he brings toughness, and he brings the city of St. Louis. And it's important for our state, as a state school, it's important that we keep our kids here. And being able to have the success of Mark Mitchell, you look at Aiden Shaw, Tamar Bates representing Kansas City, you have Aaron Rowe representing Como, you have Nicholas Randall representing St. Louis. That says something. I think Nicholas Randall will continue to get better as he continues to nationally make the impact that he can at AZ Compass. I just want to thank his family, his support system, his coaches, because it takes a village. Both those kids were coached at the grassroots level by in-state programs, in-state high school coaches, in-state support system, and we just want to continue on that partnership of seeing these young people grow, and I'm excited about this class. Their stars by their name does not indicate the impact, the level of impact that I truly believe they'll grow into. Just because they're not 5 stars or 6 stars, or they're not Burger King All-Americans or McDonald's All-Americans, doesn't mean they won't win games for us. They're going to continue to develop the right way. They're going to run into some growing pains, but they're going to continue to grow the right way, and their heart's going to be in it as they support and grow as Mizzou Tigers.
Time for one last question.
Dennis, with that example of Caleb with having to bench him and change his mindset, can you just talk a little bit about having to have your finger on the pulse as a coach and be able to read each guy to know what might work for Caleb, might not work for Ant?
Yeah, I think a coach's job is to know his personnel, know his players on and off the court, know them cerebrally, know how they respond. I take pride in meeting with our guys regularly. I have an open door policy, not only for their parents, but their coaches, They're NIL agents or they're agents, right? That is the new era of today, and I want to be able to be accessible, and you can only manage if you have information, the correct information, but also if you have the relationship. The only reason why I was able to do what I did is because of my relationship with my players. He didn't shut down, and that's a sign of growth. Every last one of us in this room, when we've seen ourselves grow, it's coming on the cusp of a failure. It's coming on the cusp of us disappointing ourselves or even our activity or our own disappointments. It's not external, but we put pressure on ourselves and as human, we put pressure on ourselves to perform. And when we don't perform up to standard, we don't need someone else to tell us because we're hard on ourselves. I asked Caleb to give me room to coach him. That means he gotta step aside, stop coaching himself, and allow me the space to do it. And when he allowed me the space to do it, I think we saw him relax, and we saw him take the brunt off his shoulders and concentrate on the small things that got him on the college scene, the small things that allowed him to be a starter over this period of time. And then obviously it took the pressure off the offensive side of the ball and put it on the defensive side of the ball. Instead of thinking of I failed, he replaced the I with a we and a me with a us. And when you can think of we and us, that will allow you to now process things differently. But it starts with the relationship that I have not only with Caleb Grill, but also the entire team, and the relationship that Caleb Grill has with his teammates. And those things are important when you want to coach, but also when you want to hold young people or any adult accountable. You got to have a relationship, because where that relationship lies is where trust is built. And he trusted me enough to do it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you.
MIZ, I would say